Hello, Grace Baptist Church. I trust that you are all doing well. And we're going to have another devotion from the book of Ecclesiastes, two more, this one and one other. So we're coming to a great conclusion in the book of Ecclesiastes. Now, the preacher, as he is called, right in the beginning of the book of Ecclesiastes, we find out that the writer refers to himself as the preacher. Now, he's covered a lot of ground, and he's in a sense, it may appear that he's kind of all over the place, but that's what life is like. He covers sad topics. He covers even depressing topics. He talks about faith and trust in God. So at times, the preacher, what he's delivering, has almost a raw feel to it. And remember, Ecclesiastes is classified as biblical wisdom literature. There's no narrative in the book. What we have are sayings. We have these proverbs. It's poetry. And at times, the wise man, the preacher, he viewed life from the human point of view. Now, this is all too easy to do, as we said in the very first devotion from Ecclesiastes, because we are human. But we've got to beware of always looking at life from a human perspective, because that certainly can get us in danger, get us in a lot of trouble. It is God and God alone. So in Ecclesiastes 12, verse 1, one of the best known verses in all of the Bible, "Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them." Remember God now. Remember God now before life basically messes us up. And if we go through life without proper faith and trust in the Lord, we certainly are going to have some really, really bad days. And so the emphasis here is remember God. Now, remember God when? Now, it does say, remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth. That is the wisdom. That is the ideal. But there's going to be folks that are going to hear this, or many people, untold millions, to read it, and they think, well, I'm not young. I am not in the days of my youth, and I have not remembered God. But what is the principle here? Remember God now. Now is the time. And don't fall victim to thinking, well, I'm young. I can wait like other people have waited. No, that itself is a mistake. Too many ignore God altogether. And I can testify as a pastor that there were people that, or there's people I've known for 20, 25, 30 years as a pastor, where their whole idea was, someday, someday, someday. And some of them are still thinking someday. They were in their 20s, now they're in their 50s, and their approach to life is no different. And their devotion to God has not increased. Let us not be like a man or a woman that is like that. Now, why? What we're going to see later is we're all going to give an account, right? Everyone, saved and lost, are going to give an account to God. So the verse one more time, and then I want to give you some practical things. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. The advice is clear. Remember God now, lest you come to a mindset, lest your heart get to the place where you really don't care. Don't ignore. Don't put off this coming to the Lord. And there's many things here. Life is fleeting. Life is fleeting. It goes fast. One of the things that has amazed me in what is now almost 30 full years of being a pastor is the kids. What I mean by that is there were people that were teenagers when I arrived. They are in middle age. And there are many others who are pressing into middle age. A lot of them don't think of it. They've got young kids, but if they look at where they are in their life, they're pressing into middle age. So life itself is fleeting, but there's something else about that. We don't even know how long our lives are going to be. So we should never put that off. And then also, God deserves our strength. If you're young, He deserves your youth. He deserves your strength. He deserves what you can bring to the table. And, God deserves the wisdom that you will accrue by the grace of God, by giving God your youth, giving Him your 20s, giving Him your 30s. He deserves the wisdom that you can bring to your family. Your family deserves that. Your family deserves that you'll have that. And also, your church will deserve that strength. Great wisdom awaits the faithful. And again, this is very important for families and for churches. My final advice here would be this: considering, remember your Creator today, now, is this: give God today. Don't look back in despair. Don't look back and say, you know what, Pastor Beck, I am middle-aged, or I'm beyond middle age, and I have not given God, I never gave Him my youth. Don't look back in despair. Look forward in hope. God has brought you to here today. Remember